All right, so I'm Twitch with Refuge Training. This morning did a real quick, I don't like it kind of review on this. And at this moment, I'm sticking with that. But in response, I'd like to give my thoughts with some precursor information. One, I have an expectation that things will act with combat effective environments, right? So it needs to be effective in environments that are disgusting, that are dirty, that are brutal, where things are violent. So I typically see the trials of softies and of cat tourniquets. Now, I'm realizing that this is not either of those. I'm giving that credit. However, I have entirely saturated both of these entirely with mud on students that are entirely saturated also with mud, and they still work for arterial compression. So keeping that in mind, that's the standard that I'm looking for. Because if it'll work in that environment, then it'll work in something less, right? But the reverse isn't necessarily the same. It doesn't always work that if it'll work in an easy environment, that it'll work in a worse. So now to break down some of my concerns about it before I even demo. The windlass on this is very short. It is very difficult to keep a hand on. It feels, it's even physically shorter than the softie, and I have some trouble keeping a hand on that under stress. The C-clamp on this section here, I'll just call it a C-clamp, it flexes extremely easily. You can see that without much effort, right? It torques because the size of the polymer is really thin. So that's part of what, yeah, so you can see this move, and if it moves, then part of what you designed this to work like comes out of place. Well, that's part of what we saw on the leg in the first video. So we'll put that back. You can see this does not have an extensive amount of wear, okay? Now, if I take a cat tourniquet and I have it pre-staged so it can fit in a pocket with the windlass vertical, right? I pulled it out of my pocket to do this. Throw it on my arm, cinch it down, pull the strap tight, and quickly, now keeping in mind, I practice with this one more, okay? But I can quickly get enough arterial compression. Yep, and it worked to work as a tourniquet. So that was simple, it's repeatable. I can practice with it. Now with this one, same arm, generally a similar staging position. I can't put the windlass like this where it would fit easily in a pocket because then I can't get it out one-handed. That's not gonna work. So I have to stage it more like this possibly and run risk of it going in there or sideways. So it doesn't fit in the pocket as easy. Then if I throw this on my arm, again, I need to pull towards my core like this. Otherwise you're trying to pull out here, it doesn't work. Shift it, pull it tight. You see it happening right now. I didn't do anything unusual. I'm pulling it tight and it's already torquing to the side. Nothing unusual. And it was preset. I already folded everything back straight. Now, when I go to twist your windlass, get that out of the way. It's very small, just now getting to arterial compression. Look at that. I don't understand how this is gonna work. This isn't even on my leg this time, and you saw it from start to finish. It will not work. And the whole time I'm assuming that I'm bleeding too. Like,
and what they're gonna say is you're twisting it the wrong way, right?
Let's try it the other way. Let's do that. Let's try it the other way. Just for the sake of argument. Because I don't want this to suck. I don't want this to get people hurt.
Absolutely.
Let me stretch the whole thing out. Okay, we'll start it over equally. Don't stop the video though, so there's no...
No, absolutely, I'm rolling.
Okay, so everything is equal. This is loose. You can even see it's binding up here. That's weird. You see it's doing that, it's doing this fold. And I don't know why, and I shouldn't have to wonder why. If you buy a product, I shouldn't have to wonder why it doesn't work, you know, especially when it's a life-saving item like a tourniquet. Okay, let's see if I can get ready. Try to twist the other way. I know we did torque on the windlass pretty good originally. I got to give that credit. I don't think I'm going to be able to break it.
That windlass is solid.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's a good feature.
Absolutely.
And this tab is good. I don't have to fold it over like I do that one to get the handle. Okay, so now we're pretty equal. Good enough. All right, so same deal.
So I'm gonna watch.
Pull it tight. It's already
And
doing it again.
immediately went down. Yep.
Okay, but we'll complete it, and I'm gonna purposely twist the opposite direction. We'll see what happens. Which again is awkward because we don't use our hands that way. I don't have compression yet, and it's even locked in. I didn't mean for it to be. Now we've got compression. Okay, so that way makes sense. Yeah, and it
But
worked.
it is still
torquing. How's it look on
Right.
the backside? Because I can't see it.
it's actually pretty straight on that backside.
Okay, but yeah, this is still doing the same thing, and it required me to torque it a specific direction, which under stress was the opposite direction that you would train to do. We all use our thumb more than the other fingers, so if you're going to torque it, you're going to use your thumb as leverage.
Right.
I'm not gonna-
Anybody like, okay, sure, that'll work on the right arm.
Yep. And you even saw it actually created a problem because if I backed it off one twist, I'm not getting enough arterial compression now, and it accidentally slipped in. And then I had to fiddle with it one-handed, again, assuming I'm still bleeding out, and then go one more. And honestly, I could even stand to do one more than that. Yeah, now we're really good. I just didn't love it. Another factor is, what do you do with your strap? Again, in a lot of the trainings, we teach people in my classes that once you have twisted your windlass up real good, it's wrapped around, we want them to take the tail of the cat and bring it back through this clamp and then put the time tab over. It helps pin everything in place. If it's on the leg, you won't have enough room to do that. That's fine. However, on this one, it's not a logical place for me to put my strap, and I actually can't get it pulled to the side enough for this clip to actually do anything.
Right.
I guess I could twist it around. I could do that. That would work.
Because the idea is to keep this
Yep.
from getting snagged while in transition or while
Yep.
in movement.
Yep.
Because if that gets pulled, you immediately lose the effectiveness of the tourniquet.
Again, you can
as
see
a whole.
the color changing going on. I mean, it's definitely working. I can feel it.
Absolutely. You can see the vascularity in your biceps, the difference there.
Yep. But it's too specific. I shouldn't have to care about why it's twisting up. I shouldn't have to care about what direction I twist the windlass. The locking mechanism is, to me, somewhat overcomplicated but weaker, which doesn't make a lot of sense because I can just so easily flex this to where this system is now not working at all. And that's what happened on the leg. Now, for the sake of argument, how many minutes we have?
8.
All right, let me try to knock this out quick. We'll do it on the leg, see what we can replicate there. Come on. Started equally. And this, man, there's no way this would survive a responder 3 that we do. It takes way too long to straighten out. But that's a practice thing. Okay.
Oh, well, as many times as I put a tourniquet on in responder 3, it was,
We average at least 100 per student
yeah, at least.
in each class. And it's full compression, which is actually different to most places where they don't actually allow you to do arterial compression for real. Well, that's the only way we do it. We don't have to do it. All right, so we're started as close to straight up as I can. Buckles back in place. Okay, so everything's normal-ish, but it's still bound up really good. Okay. Cool. For the sake of just, let's say I'm pinned in a car, right? Round. I've already taken the stuff out of my pockets. It's already binding itself.
Yeah, I see it twisting
It's
on your
twisting
leg.
up. It's pretty annoying.
It's actually catching. The Velcro is
On
catching
itself.
itself.
Yep. All right, let's just go. Yep, there it is again. See, and it's like, because it's catching on itself, it's causing this strip to get too narrow. Let's see if I can straighten it and get it without it.
And this is not the only tourniquet that this happened on.
Yep. Come on. I never have to do this with a cat, ever. Occasionally you have to run your fingers down it to straighten it out and get it to separate, but not like this. This takes way too much effort to practice with it. So nobody's going to, that's the thing. If it takes this much effort to practice, nobody's gonna do it. Okay, it's equal. Ready?
Yep.
Say pull.
And it still did it.
Still did it. Okay, let's get it finished though. We'll go the other way because I did it.
Right.
We'll go this way first, the way it should work. We're not there yet. And that one's close. Okay. I can still do half one. We'll give it the benefit of the doubt.
But you can see here,
It's torqued up again. It's twisted real
it's
bad.
so close to the center of that windlass that
Yep.
it really won't even catch.
Yep. And again, if there was
inside
any
that carabiner.
if there's any swelling from this being a real injury, I'd have to go more. I'd have to.
Right.
So let's give it one more, and look at the torque that it's getting now. Look at that. Now it's not going to do it. See if
Yep.
you can get it top down because it's actually folding that polymer.
Oh, I sure do see that.
Yep. Okay. And now I have that same dilemma I did a little bit ago. It's not going to hook because now this center section's too close to your clip. Yeah, and now it's just going to come undone. I got it hooked, but again, I wouldn't rely on that tension there. I needed that one more turn.
Yep.
Okay, so final thoughts on it. I don't want it to suck. I really like the idea of new technology. I would love for there to be a better competitor for the cat tourniquet. We took a SAM XT. We put it through several of our classes. It took a lot of beating. It didn't show these issues. Problem with SAM is that their tourniquets are just as expensive and they're not really better. So that's part of the dilemma. And they don't have the real world trials of combat or let's say police or fire. I mean, these are just not being used on the street yet.
Yeah.
I would happily take several of these and run them through one of our advanced classes. You can find just quick videos on refugetraining.com and see what exactly I'm talking about with the trials we're talking about. It's a lot of fake blood mix, which is slick. It's a lot of water. It's a lot of mud. And this is not likely to hold up. But if you wanted to send some, I will happily throw them in the mix and get feedback from students. But this is part of the issue, just how this is folding on itself. So that's where I'm at with it. Feel free to email me. I hope it helps. See you later.